So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike SB Dunk Paisley Brown. Can you tell any differences between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I have another comparison video for you between two pairs of Nike SB Dunks. The retail one is on my right and the fake pair is on my left. And this video is just a comparison to help you if you're trying to purchase the retail pair. So we'll get straight into the comparison. So I think you can probably tell a clear difference between the two boxes straight away. And that is because the retail one has the classic Nike SB box, whereas the fake one has gone for this long extended one, which was on previous models. And I don't actually think it came with this model, so this is the wrong box. But as you can see, there's a clear difference between the two. The fake one is way longer than the retail one and a lot skinnier. I'd also say that this box is actually a slightly darker purple, and the Nike SB logo on the top is a more crystal white on the retail box compared to the fake one. But now I'll spin it around and take a closer look at the labels. So here you can see the two labels from the close-up, and you can see that the fake one is based on the US label, whereas the retail one obviously was purchased in the UK, so it has a UK label, so it doesn't have the US price tag on the side. But if you look at the spacing and font size on both of the labels, you can see there is a slight difference between the two. I'd say that the spacing on the retail one is much wider than it is on the fake one, where you can see it says UK 9, you can see the 9 is actually closer to the UK on the fake label compared to the retail one. So just pay close attention to the labels, and if you have a UK pair at home, just pay close attention to the UK label to see if yours matches up. But like I say in pretty much every video, nobody really wants me to talk about the boxes for the entire time, and you're more interested in the shoes. So we'll open them up and take a closer look at the shoes. So we'll open up the fake one first, and as you can see, the shoes are completely exposed on the top, and I expect on the retail pair, as you can see, the shoes are covered. But there is a difference to note straight away. The paper is lying on the bottom of the box, and I'll show you the differences between the paper. So having taken out the fake shoes, you can see that on the paper, that kind of like wood grain pattern that's on the paper is in a black on the fake one, whereas on the retail one, it's in a green. So there's a clear difference between the two, and something you should pay close attention to if you are trying to purchase a retail pair. I would also say the fake one came with this little tablet inside the box, which actually smells amazing. So these shoes don't smell glue or anything, they smell absolutely amazing, which is quite weird. Something new from the fakes. So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike SB Dunk Paisley Brown. Can you tell any differences between these two? So the first and most noticeable difference occurs on the right shoe, and I'm pointing this out to you straight away, and that is it comes with a pair of spare laces in the brown colorway. But on the fake one, they're in a little plastic bag, whereas on the retail one, they're just attached to the laces that are already pre-laced in the shoes. So that's just a clear difference and something that the fakes have got wrong. Nike just cutting down on their plastic consumption maybe, just taking away the plastic bag. But on the retail pair, it doesn't come with a plastic bag, so just pay close attention to that. So the next difference is actually the overall pattern on top of the sneaker itself, and I'll give you a close-up of this on the toe box. So as you can see from the close-up, if you look at the green coloured and the actual pattern itself, it's much brighter and bolder on the fake pair compared to the retail one. On the retail one, it's a little bit more subtle and blends in with the upper, but the fake one, you can see it stands out a lot more, especially on that green colour. The green is a lot brighter on the fake one compared to the retail one. This pattern difference is all over the shoe. If you look at the back of the shoe, the side of the shoe, it's much brighter on the fake one compared to the retail one. Looking down from above at the sneaker and taking a look at the laces themselves, you can actually see there is a color difference between the two, and hopefully this shows up on the close-up. But the fake one, the laces are a little bit more creamy than they are on the retail one. On the retail one, they are pure white, but on the fake one, they just don't have this color. They have it slightly more creamy, which I actually don't mind in terms of what it looks like, but it's not accurate compared to the retail pair. This is the same once again on the tag at the top of the tongue. Here you can see where it says Nike SB and then it says Dunk Low Pro. The font size is a little bit off and the spacing is a little bit off, but also the color itself. Once again, on the fake one, it's slightly more creamy than it is on the retail one. On the retail one, you can see that this Nike print is in white. So on the inside of the shoe and underneath the swoosh, you can see on this middle panel here, there is a texturized material beneath. When comparing this retail to fake, you can see there's a clear difference in the texturized material below, and it's much more ribbed on the retail pair compared to the fake one. The fake one doesn't have the exact same feel as it does on the retail one, and obviously because of that color difference, it just looks very different from retail to fake. On the outer edge of all the panels, they do have this rubberized material on the retail and fake, but if you look at the retail and fake side by side, you can see that the fake rubberized material is much thicker and bolder compared to the retail one, where at the back side of the panels you can see it's a little bit more slim compared to the fake one, where this rubberized material just looks chunky and large on the outer edges. This might be quite hard to see, but on the back of the shoe where it has the Nike embroidery, the text size is a little bit off between the two, and also the color is different between the two. Once again, the fake one seems to have gone for a more creamy vibe compared to the retail one, which has gone for a pure white vibe as well. So the color difference on all the white parts of the shoe seem to be a little bit off. On the fake one, they seem to have gone for a more cream compared to the retail one where all the white parts are white. Taking a look at the sole of both shoes, and take a look at this circle here right at the front of the sole, you can see difference in the star print on both of these shoes. Both of these are dead stock, so they should be exactly the same. However, you can see the star print is actually much bolder on the fake pair compared to the retail one. I would actually say the retail one looks like it has been worn a little. However, I can promise you it has not, but the stars don't show up as clearly on the retail one compared to the fake one. Also, on this pink section of the sole here, you can see that the texturized pattern beneath is much clearer on the retail one compared to the fake one, and that's a clear telltale difference between the two pairs. Especially when they're dead stock, you can actually see this. After a few wears, this might be quite hard to see. If we take a look at the outside of the right shoe, you can see the swoosh on the outside. They seem to have got the texturized pattern on this swoosh actually correct. However, if you look at the placement, you can see it's very different from retail to fake. So from the close-up, you can see on the fake one, the swoosh is placed much lower down, so you can see the bottom of the swoosh almost touches the sole, whereas on the retail one, you can see it's placed much higher and you can see more of the pattern beneath the swoosh. I'd also say if you actually look at the swoosh itself, it curves a little bit different from retail to fake, which you can clearly see from the side by side here. And then the placement on the swoosh on the inside is actually the opposite of the outside. As you can see here, the placement of the swoosh on the fake one is placed a little bit higher, so you can see a much bigger gap between the bottom of the swoosh and the sole here, so you can see more of the pattern. Whereas on the retail one, you can see it's placed pretty much directly in the middle and is spot on. So as you can see from this comparison, there are a few differences between the two pairs. The most obvious and notable one is the pattern itself. It's quite a clear difference between the two, and you can see it in terms of the color and just a visible difference when looking at the shoe itself. But I hope this video has helped you if you are trying to authenticate your pair, and if you're trying to purchase a retail pair, this is a really nice shoe, so I'd go ahead and purchase it because I actually really don't mind this. I think it looks pretty cool. The pattern is actually pretty subtle on it when you're actually wearing it, so you can't see it too boldly. That's the only thing I have wrong with this shoe. I think the pattern is a weird color to have on a brown shoe, but otherwise it's quite nice. But thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, helps me do more comparisons just like this one. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you have an amazing day.